Good morning, everybody. I am so excited. Thank you for joining me. My name is Tina Kavergich. Whoops, we're a little crooked. And I am Northern Stamper. I am located just east of Toronto in Ontario, but that is okay. You can always join me online. I have got something very exciting for the month of June. Today, we are going to be pulling out some of our old items that we have. Give me a thumbs up if you have something that is old in your stash that you would like to use that you haven't got around to. What we're going to be doing today, I had a hard time. Oh no! Whoops! Whoops! Holy cow! Whoa! Sorry about that. I wanted to use some of the stuff that I had. I have so much great stuff, and I wanted to actually pull some of it out. And I had a hard time choosing what to create with. So today, I'm going to make at least 4 cards showing you some stuff from the stash that we have. I'm very excited. So just wanted to let you know. So what you're going to do today, we are going to be using flowers. So what you want to do is look up for some kind of stamp set that has some kind of flowers. In particular, if you have something that has like a stock, kind of a large one like this, and maybe some items that are a little smaller. Here's a large one here or here, and we're going to be using some of these smaller flowers. In particular, there's another one, one flower, and then another. And let's just see. I'm just showing you some of the ones that we have. This one has a stalk of leaves and some flowers in between. We're going to be using some of those. And like I said, I had a hard time choosing which one to use. So let's just make all 4 of them at least. Actually, I got 5, but let's see how many we can get through. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that. In the meantime, take a look through your stash. Okay, I'm just going to organize all this. Take a look through your stash. In the meantime, I just wanted to let you know, um, hopefully you could join me in September. I have a getaway that I'm going to be doing. It has 30 hours of crafting time for you. You could bring any projects that you want to work on. I have some amazing extra classes that you can join in. We're going to have bingo. There are a bunch of challenges. I got games and prizes, meals. Some of the meals are included, and it's all for $150. And that's for the weekend. If you want to stay at the hotel, I do have a special rate, and there are only a few rooms left for that special rate. Now, you might be wondering, well, what have I got going on? So, like, look at, I've got everything planned. I got so much planned. There are classes and prizes and challenges and just so much going on. Just so much. Also, I just want to announce that I've just figured out and designed cards for Christmas in July. Yes, Christmas in July. You know what? We got to get started if we want to hand out those cards. And what you're going to get a pack of DSP, 2 ribbons, an embellishment, cardstock for all the cards that we're going to be making, plus a brand new stamp set that we're going to be using. Now, it's only $55 for all of this. Now, you can either do the online on July 31st or the in-person on July 26th. Now, online on July 31st, it will all be recorded so you can go and watch those cards at any time you want, but their videos will be released on July 31st. Now, if you want online, there is going to be delivery because I have so much going in. This is going to be a lot of fun. Let me know at northernstamper@gmail.com if you would like either the Christmas in July or want to join me in London for a weekend getaway. All right, give me a thumbs up if you are ready to get started for some of the cards we're going to be using these older stamp sets. Okay. All right, let's get started. And what we're going to be doing, I'm going to show you some of the items that we're going to be using for this card. And that's going to have the same card design, but I wanted to show you using a variety of different stamp sets for this exact same card design. So the card design is going to be the same for all 5, but depending on what you use, it will look a little different. Okay, so what you're going to need, all right, first of all, we're going to use a card base. Now I've chosen black because I think it's going to work really well. Oh, are we out of focus? Oh, give it a second. There we go. We're going to be using a black card base because I think this is going to really look very stunning with the black card base. Okay, so we're going to have a black card base. I'm going to have 5, or actually 4. So I got 4 card bases here. Okay, because I'm going to be doing 4 different stamps with the same design. So we have our card base. All right, got the card base. Now I'm going to have a piece of basic black, and this is cut to, you can see, 4 1/8 by 1 7/8. Okay, there you go. There is the dimensions for this piece, and this is going to become a frame. Now, normally I don't like 7/8 or 1/8, but for this card, I thought it would come out really nicely. So there's a mat for this piece. Okay, you're going to have a piece of basic white, and it's 4 inches by 1 3/4. Now you'll notice that it fits nicely right on top of that black. See the nice frame around there? That's what we're looking for. Okay, so we got those 2 pieces along with our card base. I also have some scraps in black and white for our sentiment. Doesn't matter what size they are, you're just going to grab some. And I've picked up some punches that I'm going to use for the sentiments, and you can see them there. I'm just going to use some punches because I love punches. Okay, as you can see, we are using a lot of the old stuff that we have. So there's our scraps, there's our card base, and this is what we're going to do to get started. The only thing you need to add is a 4 by 5 cardstock in a color that you want. Now I've got a variety of colors because I had a hard time choosing which color exactly I want to use, but they are all exactly the same. They are all 4 by 5 1/4. So if I take my card base, you're going to notice it fits right on. There we go, a nice edge all the way around. Okay, so we have the variety. So like I said, I had a hard time with this. Okay, so we got that. I think those are all the pieces that we need other than inks and some coloring tools and stuff like that. Just, your basics. But these are the items we're going to be using to create the cards. Okay, so what we're going to start with, I'm going to take the base. I'm not using this yet. We're going to put this off to the side. Okay, I don't need the sentiment pieces because we'll be using those later. I'm going to put those off to the side. Oh, we're a little out of focus. There we go. I'm getting so excited, I'm getting all tilty here. What we're going to do, I'm going to take this mat. We don't need this yet, so I'm going to place that off to the side. Okay, we do need the piece of basic white that is 4 by 1 3/4. We're going to put that there, and we'll be using that in a minute. What we're going to start with is the 4 by 5 1/4. And you'll notice I have crushed curry, I have soft sea foam, I have a white, I have a basic beige, and I have a crumb cake. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be stamping with a bunch of different stamp sets. And I'm actually going to start with the basic beige. Okay, let's start with this. And for the basic beige, what I decided to do, okay, yes, this is a new set. It's Gallery Blooms, but I wanted to do something with a new set and an old set. But what I wanted to do is actually get this one started. So, oops, I think I need more room. What I'm going to do is, for this one, because I'm using the basic beige, no, this is crumb cake. Because I'm using the crumb cake, I've decided to match it with early espresso. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the images. I'm going to take this one in particular because it's a nice long kind of subtle type of flower. I didn't want to use this one because it's very predominant, and I'm going to use that as my predominant piece in this image. I wanted something a little bit more subtle, so I'm going to be using this one. All right, let's get that guy out. Oh, he doesn't want to come out. Oh, all right, he's brand new, hardly ever used. Okay, let's place him on a block. Okay, and I'm going to ink it up. And all I'm doing is I'm going to stamp right across this piece. And I'm going to put these images at various heights. I'm going to bring it down a little bit, up a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to keep going all the way across. Oh my gosh, look at the color on that tone. All right, kind of put them in. There we go. Now I'm going to do this for all of the cardstock pieces. Okay, I think I need a bigger. Okay, look at that. That looks absolutely fabulous. So we did this. This is early espresso on crumb cake, and that was using the gallery blooms. Okay, I'm going to put these two together so that I know which one it goes with. I'm going to move on to another card base or a card piece, and I'm going to be doing the same thing. So what I'm going to do is, let's get a different color. So there we go. This is a different color. I'm going to be using soft seafoam, and I'm going to be using thoughtful wishes. Again, as what we did on this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the larger image here, and I'm going to take, it's going to be tone on tone, so soft seafoam. Okay, going to get that on a block. Oops. On a bigger block, and I'm going to stamp right across the page. All right, let's get this over here. Okay. Again, we're going to be doing a variety of heights. Going to ink that up, and it's a variety of heights. I'm going to stamp. This is tone on tone. Bring it up a little higher. There we go. So look at that. That looks really nice. A very subtle effect on that. So that was soft seafoam, and that was using the thoughtful wishes. Now I'm going to keep this together and move on to the next one. The next one I'm going to do it in crushed curry. Okay. And I'm going to pull up an old stamp set. This is the Dragonfly Garden. Does anybody have these stamp sets? I'm just wondering. Okay. Again, I'm looking for that long image of the flower. I want that long one. It'll make it much easier when I do this. Okay. I'm sure somebody has a flower set somewhere. Again, we're going to ink it up. This is going to be tone on tone. Again, various heights. Oh, that one kind of went off. Let's flip that guy over. It's just too excited. Okay, stamp. There we go. Again, tone on tone, various heights. And we're going to go stamping right across. You're getting the idea, right? Okay. Okay. I just have one more. So that was crushed curry, tone on tone. There we go. Gonna put this together with the Dragonfly Garden. And the last one I'm going to use is detailed dogwood. Now this was a celebration item. I love it because I love this dogwood. Now I have a tough time. I don't know if I want to do it on the white or the basic beige. Let's give it on the basic beige because I have an idea to do it on the white. So let's get this off. Put these stamp sets together. Okay. I'm going to use the detailed dogwood. I think I'm going to use this larger flower and have this one for the second part of this stamp that I'm going to be doing. So I got that detailed dogwood. Now, I decided what color we're going to be doing this one on. And that will be, let's see, let's go with a, you know what? I've got the new Secret C. Let's give that one a try. Might be a little dark. If not, we can always flip it over and use another color. Let's just give it a try. So let's give Secret C a try. Oh, wow. Holy cow. That looks really good. Okay. I know something's going in the middle, so I'm going to stamp kind of like over. And there we go. Wow, that looked really good. My goodness, that Secret C is quite impressive. Check out that coloring on that. Wow, that's really good. What I could do, remember we had that piece of basic white. If you do not want to do something like this with the Secret C or a dark color on a cardstock and want to use white, you can always use an embossing folder on the white. And that's, I had done one, so just in case you wanted to see, I had done an embossing, and this one I used the Damask Design embossing folder. And there we go, you can kind of see the design. So I'm not sure which one we want to use. We could use that one or this one. We can always find out. All right, so we've got our bases stamped. See, there they are. They're nicely stamped. We're going to put these off to the side, and we're going to work on the pieces of basic white. And those are these ones right here. Okay, I'm going to place them out. Now, because I'm doing 4, I'm going to do 4 different stamps. So let's go back to that first one we started with. There we go. The Gallery Blooms, looking good. And what I'm going to do is I want to find a flower image. Now I could go with this larger one or this smaller one. It really doesn't matter. Let us choose that larger one. I like the large image and that open flower right here. I really like that. I'm going to get the stamp. I'm going to put it on a block. Now I'm not using the whole thing. I'm focusing really on where the flower is. And let's get the color for that. We stamped that in early espresso. Boop, boop, boop. And what we're going to do is follow along the edge for the flowers. Now, if this is too big, again, we can flip it over. I'm going to put those on. We're going to try and not overlap them too much, but we want to have enough flowers that they look nice and crowded. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, that looks so lovely. Look at that. And you know what? We're going to put this, so look at that. It matches on there. Oh, look at, very stunning, very stunning. Okay, that was the Gallery Blooms in the early espresso. Okay, let's put that off to the side. Let's work on the Thoughtful Wishes. Okay, so there's this one, Thoughtful Wishes. Let's bring this in. And let's actually do a black on this. And I'm going to use my Memento, and I'm going to stamp. I think I need some of these blocks. When I look at the Thoughtful Wishes, see this row of little flowers? It kind of creates like a whole row of flowers. Now, do you remember another stamp set that does that? Comment below before I show it to you. Okay, so Thoughtful Wishes has this kind of row of flowers. Do you know what the next one is that actually does that? One of my favorite, Painted Poppies. Same thing. Look, we could use the flowers here, and there's that row of flowers, Painted Poppies. Love that set. Love that set. I think that was a great set that they came out with. Let's stamp a row of these flowers on here, and we're going to do it in black. Try and get them as close as possible. Ooh, that was a boo-boo. Let's just flip that over. Okay. Oh, that's much better. Remember, when you ink up your stamp, make sure you move it to different areas because the inks will settle in different spots. Oh, look at that. So we used that image all the way across in black. Okay, there we go. We're going to put this together on that card. And let's move on to the third card. Okay, there's the dragonfly garden. Okay, and let's use, no, what could we use in here? You know what? We could use these little fireflies and actually stamp out or punch out a dragonfly. Let's do that. Okay, so what we're going to do, get our little dragonflies, or whatever they're called, and our piece of white. And I'm going to stamp it in Secret C because you know what? I just love that color. And kind of randomly stamp the images. Okay. Oh, there's a little bit here. Okay. I randomly stamp those images in Secret C. Wow, that ink pad is like really juicy. Oh my goodness. And I want to actually use the punch that matches the dragonfly garden. So you still got the punch. Let's stamp a dragonfly and punch him out. We're going to use the Secret C again. See, have you got it here? Let's move that over so you can take a peek. And we are just going to stamp him on there. Oh, that color is so amazing. And we're going to punch him out. Are you with me so far? Okay. Let's pop this guy in. See all the great stuff we can use from our stash? All right, let's line him up, punch him out. And we're going to put these guys all together. So when we assemble our card, we have everything. Okay, there we go. Dragonfly Garden. Put him off to the side. The detailed dogwood. Now we have this one embossed. We could use the embossing one, I'm not sure. Or we can use this one on here. Let's get our piece of white. There we go. And because we stamped that one in Secret C, let's do it again. Now I used the large flower for the background. We're going to use the smaller one. Okay. Again, place it on a block. I think you're getting the hang of what's going on here. We're going to stamp this all the way across. Wow, that color is, oh, that's stunning. Holy cow. There we go. I think that has become my favorite color out of the new ink colors. Okay, so there we go. We have that stamped. And that is detailed dogwood. So all of the areas that we need are all stamped. Okay, so I wanted to show you a variety of different ones that we have here. See, you know what? If you take some time and look through your stash, I'm sure you can find something absolutely stunning. All right, let's go back to our first one, which was gallery blooms. See, there we go. We got the gallery blooms. Now we have these all stamped. Let's do some matting. Okay. Because we are not wrapping any ribbon around, I can glue this straight onto the card base. So I'm going to take my black. I'm going to glue it onto the card base. There we go. There's that one. Okay, let's get another one. We're going to do the same thing for all of them. There is this one. Oh, there's a little bit of hair on there. Time to change the cutting blade on that. Again, placing it on. Nice mat all the way around. Like an assembly line now. Add some glue. Place it on the card base. Okay. Now this one is a tough one. Do we want to use the stamped image like that? Little pieces all everywhere. And that on top. I don't know. I think that's kind of stark. Or do we want to use the embossing folder and place that on? Oh, I think, wow. I think that looks really nice. We can always use this for something else. All right. So we're going to go with the embossing folder. Okay. We're going to mat that down. There we go. Now they're all done. Those ones are all done. We have to do the same for these pieces right here. We're going to take our mat, which is 4 1/8 by 1 7/8. We're going to mat these all on. Okay, there's one. Now you'll see there's a very small image frame all the way around. I didn't want a heavy frame on that. Place them on. There we go. Look, see a nice frame all the way through. We're going to keep going on our assembly line and do the same thing. I love all of the stamps that I have in my collection, and sometimes I don't get around to using them all, and that makes me very sad. So I am very excited we are doing this throwback. Okay. These nice little images that we have in here, it's okay that they're black and white, but you know what? I think they need a little bit of color. Okay, they look fantastic, but I think they need a little bit of color. So what I did is I decided to get some little blends, and I'm going to be coloring them. So I think this one here reminds me of like poppies. I'm going to test out that color. Let's see what color we want to use. Oh, I think I'm going to use the cherry cobbler on this. So I'm just going to quickly color in some of these with the cherry cobbler with my blends. There we go. Just take your time. I'm not doing multiple colors on this. I'm just doing one color. So you can also use any of the markers you have, pencil crayons, and place it with Stella for a watercolor effect. If you really want, you could use crayon, whatever you got. Okay, I'm going to add those in. It kind of just adds a little pop of color. I have this one here, so take a look at that red. Looking really nice. This one I thought would be like a little pink because it's like a dogwood. So I'm going to be adding a little bit of color to these dogwoods. Now you notice for this, I'm not doing 100% coloring. I'm going to leave some spots white to give some design. So I'm just touching it with the paint portion, which is the end right there. I love Stampin' Blends. Oh my goodness. We have not done enough with coloring with Stampin' Blends lately. Okay. That adds just a little bit of color. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Very, very nice on that color. I don't think I need to do anything for these little flowers. This one here, I guess I could use a little bit of, you know what? I'm going to add just a little bit of color to this. And I think I'm going to add a little, whoops, oh my goodness, a little bit of, whoa, my goodness. I'm going to use a little bit of wild wheat. And I'm going to use my blender pen. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of ink, not very much, test it on a piece of paper. And I'm just going to add in a little bit of color around. I'm not coloring the whole flower, but I'm just going to add a little bit in. Once you pick up the ink from the ink pad on the blender pen, it actually does go a long way. So I'm just going to keep going like that. I can see I'm starting to run out, so let's pick up just a little bit. I don't want too much. Okay, add a little bit. I'm going to color some of those flowers on the shade portion. And I wanted to choose a lighter color. I didn't want to use like the early espresso or something really, really strong on that. Okay, so let's take a look. So I added a little bit of color on there. You can see that just to give it a little hint. What we need to do is add a little bit of green, and I'm going to pick up some green. I'm going to use my blender pen just like we did before, and I'm going to just add some green. Oh my goodness, let's move some of these out of the way. I'm going to use the blender pen to pick up some of that green. Okay, it just makes it's pretty easy that way. Just add a little green. I hope you're still with me. I know this is going to be a longer video because I'm doing so many cards, but I wanted to give you an idea of what you can use from your stash. Okay, this is it'll be done in a second. So I just wanted to give you some ideas. And some green there, green on there. There we go. There we go. Let's add a little bit of green on that. You can barely see it, but it's there. Okay. Okay. We have those all painted, and I believe it's all finished. Now remember for this one down here, we used the fireflies, and then I punched out the dragonfly. I'm just going to add a little bit of color to his wings. I think he just needs a little bit of color because when we place him on the card, I don't want it to be white on white. So let's just add a little bit of yellow to him. I'm just going to try and find off a little bit. Okay, he's yellowy green. All right, whatever. There we go. Again, not focusing too much on it. Let's color his body. There we go. We just wanted to add some color. All right, we are done the coloring portion. We have our pieces. Look how lovely they turned out. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's start assembling our cards. All right, so this one, now I lost track of which one had which. Okay, this one I think had that flower on. You know what? I'm going to grab some ribbon, and I'm going to use the same ribbon for all of them because if you know me, how much I love this ribbon. This is the Open Gold Weave ribbon. I think this should be never retired and should go into everybody's crafting stash. I'm going to take some ribbon. I'm just going to pop a little bit on the back. And I'm going to tape it down. Okay, if you don't have this ribbon, this is a must-have. Must-have. Okay, must-have ribbon. I'm going to tape a little bit on the back. And we're going to get our dimensionals and place them on. Oh, how exciting. Okay, Pop those on. Right. That is going to go right there. I'm going to put it in the middle. I want to have a sentiment on here, so I'm going to put it off to the side. Oh, look at that. Looks so lovely. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. All right, there's the one with the dragonfly garden. There's the yellow with our dragonfly. Let's get a little bit of ribbon on that. I'm going to tape that down. Just add a little bit. Fold it over. Now, because this one had that dragonfly we punched out, I'm only going to put the ribbon on one corner. All right. There we go. You still with me? Oh. All right. I'm going to place it on one corner. Where's our dragonfly? There we go. I'm going to take the dragonfly, going to take him, put him on some dimensionals, and put him right over that image that we just glued down. Okay. We're going to add a little sentiment to this. See how this comes together? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this is turning out fantastic. Again, let's get some ribbon. Going to take this on the back. It's interesting. It's the same card design, but each card that we used was something different. Looks slightly different than the other ones. Oh dear. Oh dear. The dimensionals are stuck everywhere. There we go. Place that on top. You can see I have the ribbon going all the way across. Let's kind of trim that off a little bit so it's just overhanging. There we go. And the last one, which is this. Okay, let's add some more ribbon. And I'm just going to pop that on there. One, that on there. Two. Okay. Now instead of placing this one in the center, let's offset this one a little bit differently than the others. Okay. I'm going to pop that on a little lower. Okay. So look at those. Oh my goodness. These turned out so great. Now all we have to do is add some sentiments. If you have those sentiments that are from the ephemera pack, we can easily just pop some of those out. Let's see what we got in here. There's one right here that says happy birthday. I think I would color this. Let's color that in. I'm going to use this happy birthday from the ephemera pack. Or what you could do is look at the stamps that you have around and stamp a sentiment and punch them out with the punches that you have available. Or dies. There are some really great dies with that you could use. Some of them make some really, really nice sentiment tags. So take a look to see what you got. What I like about this is I can color it in with any color that I want. And because I used the pink, this will look really nice. Okay. Again, our dimensionals, which apparently got legs, walked off on us. Let's pop this on here. I really love some of this. Oh my goodness, this turned out better than I thought it would. Let's pop that on the front. And there's that card done. Oh, we need some embellishments. Oh, what have we got here? Okay, let's go in our old stash of embellishments. Let's see what we got. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, they're all falling out. Okay, Oh, there's some really nice ones here. These are really old embellishments. Again, looking through the stash, use it all up. Oh, there's card number 1 is done. Oh, that looks really fantastic. That is so pretty. I love the embossing behind here. So that's card number 1. Let's take a look and finish up the other cards. Okay, so we have this one. I think I'm going to look for a sentiment that is in here. Let's see, what have we got? Got some really nice ones. Somehow I don't think happy holidays is going to cut it. Oh, there's a really nice thinking of you. Oh, that's just so tiny. Oh, and that looks so well with the black, because we use the black cardstock. Oh, that looks really nice. Let's try and cut up some dimensionals and see if we can get that on there. Ooh, it just fits. Oh my goodness. That black on black. Oh, you know what? Should we put it on top? Or right there. Oh, let's just put it on. Oh, embellishments. Let's get some embellishments. What do we got? Yellow, brown. Got some little flowers. Nope, those don't match. Going through my old stash. Remember, that's the idea today, is to look through our stash and see what we got. I know I have something. Ooh, those are a little bit too yellow. Okay. Oh, those are a little bit too big. I'm sure I got something here. Oh, there's some little white ones. Let's just do that. There's some white ones. There we go. And a white one down here. Oh, getting away from us. There we go. Oh, that turned out so nice. Check that out. See the nice image at the back, tone on tone? A kind of a focal point here, and there's a little dragonfly. Oh, you know what we need to add? Stella. Every dragonfly has some kind of sparklies to them. Let's add that on. There we go. That's even better. Oh, that turned out so nice. That is card number 2. All right, let's finish up. Oh, card number 3. There's this one here. And you know what? Let's see what we got. I got this old punch. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp a sentiment and punch it out. So let's get the black. Okay. And what sentiment could we use? Let's look for a sentiment that would fit in there. Ooh. I'm going to grab one from the Thoughtful Wishes. And there's one right there that says thanks. I think that would fit. To see, all I'm going to do is just kind of hold it in there. Yep, that'll fit perfect. Ink it up. Ink it up with the ink. Because I use Memento Black, let's use the same color. I'm going to stamp a thanks. Ooh, that one had a little bit of a halo. Let's try that again. I'm going to stamp a thanks. Okay, where's my punch? Ooh. Doesn't fit all the way down. So let's take some of that off. Line it up. In the middle there. There we go. And I'm going to get some black for the sentiment. Punch it out. There we go. So we got the 2 sentiments, and I'm going to glue them together. And we'll pop them on with some dimensionals. Okay. Line it up. Oh, come on. Being a little finicky. There we go. Pop it on with some dimensionals. On there. I'm just going to offset it a little bit down there. And there we go. Ooh, embellishments. Let's see what we got. I like these white ones. Pop some of those on there. And there's card number 3. Ta-da! And for one more, we got this one here. The embellishments. You know what? I think these gold ones will look really nice on here. But tiny little gold ones. Oh, they'll look great. Mary Ellen says she's been trying to use up her old items too. So I think it's great. I think we need to. We have them. Why not pull them out? Oh, that looks really great. I'm going to put a sentiment on. Let's see what we got. I'm going to go with one of the ones from the ephemera packs. I don't know about you, but I really love the ephemera pack sentiments. And I'm very excited. I can't wait for them to come out for Christmas. I love these. I think they're fantastic. And this is the last one. Oops. A little too high. I think these sentiments, they go very quickly, and I think they look really nice. So where could we put this? Kind of want it up there. All right, it goes up there. All right, and there's card number 4. Same design, but look at the difference of the image that you use. Take a look through some of your stash at some of the stamp sets that you have. You want to find something that has a kind of a long one for the back, or if you want, use the embossing folder. Those are absolutely fantastic. Sorry I used up so much of your time. I was just so excited. I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do, so I wanted to do them all. Join me next week when we're going to use a different topic for creating a card, and we're going to be using items from our stash. Again, we're going to be using stamps, not DSP. We're going to be using stamps. I want to pull those out and use them again. Let me know which one is your favorite by commenting below. There we go. Ooh, very nice. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that has inspired you to go and take a look on what you have in your craft room. Take care and have a great day.